Mavericks will be going for their first
the man,
state championship
the myth,
since
the legend
1999
himself, Mr. Walter
tonight,
Patterson,
after a
better known
runner-up
as the
finish
voice.
last year in the playoff finals against Tallulah Academy.
Mr. Patterson was the voice of
It
the
is a
Mavericks
huge
for the
crowd
last
here at Parks
13
McGraw
years.
Field.
He called many
Roberts' stats for the year, and as the starters, he's warming up, are 58 innings pitched, 11-3 record. He's got a 2.29 ERA, striking out 104 while only walking 34, and opponents only batting 170 against him for the season. Game time temperature, we had a shower come through earlier. It missed the field here at Parks McGraw, but went through downtown Yazoo City and cooled off just a little bit. Still humid, but 82 degrees with a 56% humidity. Wind's going to be out of the north-northwest at 4 miles per hour. The flag in center field right now is limp, and no wind's blowing at all as Roberts is finishing his warm-up pitches. Due up for the Tallulah Academy Trojans will be Tweedle, Bedgood, and Morgan. Hobson, McDaniels, Morrison, Mobley, then Morgan, the DH, batting for the left fielder, Ray, and then the second baseman in the 9-hole, Boyd. Roberts has 2 more pitches. We'll be underway here. The Mavericks, as I said, won 6-1 Tuesday night. Jumped on the Trojans early. Were able to get Morgan, their college Colin pitcher, out of the lineup. He was a commit to Colin, as Brody Walker was able to pitch a complete game. So the Mavericks are throwing down to second base, and we're just about to be underway. It'll be a 3-man umpiring crew today, like it's been throughout the playoffs. The Mavericks are 7-0 so far in the playoffs, outscoring their opponents 10-2 in each
leading
game.
off of the Trojans will be number 4, Landry Tweedle.
And they're looking for victory number 35. That's the magic number for them. If they get the win tonight, it'll be the first championship since 1999. As Tweedle's going to step in, the shortstop for Tallulah Academy. Will be underway here in just a second. Behind Roberts will be Paul at third base, Dees at shortstop. Ryan Allen Johnson will be the second baseman for the Mavericks with Walton on first. Tyson's the catcher. As Roberts will look in, shake off his first signal, deliver. Be a fastball that misses just inside. In the outfield will be Burton in left field, Brody Walker in center field, and Reed Roberts, the senior, in right field. As Brody Roberts, the pitcher, delivers the second pitch of the game, it's going to be a pop fly to second base. Johnson's underneath it, makes the grab, and 2 pitches. The Mavericks have their first out as we're just underway here in the top of the first inning in the best of a 3-game series between Tallulah and Manchester.
Now batting, number 9, Wyatt Bedgood.
That'll bring up Bedgood, the number 2 hitter and right fielder for Tallulah. Mavericks lead the series 1-0. If there's a game 3, it'll be at Tallulah Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Mavericks trying to hold off a game 3. First pitch to Bedgood will be a swinging strike on a nice changeup right down the middle. The bottom fell out of it right before he got to the plate. He swung over the top of it, and Roberts is up 0-1. He'll continue to work out of the windup here as he starts his motion, delivers, missing just low on a fastball, and the count evens at 1-1. Mavericks play deep in the infield other than third base, where Paul will be even with the bag. Outfield playing straight away, but not very deep, as they are playing shallower than most of the season. Roberts will deliver the 1-1 pitch. It'll be a swinging strike 2 against Bedgood. He'll fall down 1-2 with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. No scores. We're just underway at Parks McGraw Field. Roberts delivers the 1-2. Check swing. The umpire says he went. Strike 3 on a nice pitch by Roberts. It was a breaking ball that bent down over the outside part of the plate. He'll get his first strikeout of the night, and he'll bring up Morgan, the number 3 hole hitter.
Now batting, number 10, D. Morgan.
So Morgan comes to bat, the losing pitcher from Tuesday night. He's the first baseman today for the Trojans. He steps in. Face Brody Roberts for the first time today. As Roberts will deliver the pitch. Missing inside, and the count's 1-0. Mavericks got on the board first the other night in the second inning on an RBI by Burton, driving in D's. As Roberts delivers the 1-0 pitch low, he misses badly. This time the count's 2-0 with 2 outs to Morgan, the number 3 hole hitter for the Trojans. Trojans have on their blue jerseys trimmed in gold. Mavericks are in all white with green hats. Roberts will shake off the 2-0 and deliver. Again, misses low and outside on a fastball. Falls behind 3-0 to Morgan. We'll see if they let Morgan swing away on a 3-0 pitch to 2 outs. He's the big hitter for Tallulah. As he steps back in, Roberts will grab the rosin bag behind the mound, dry his pitching hand off, steps back on the rubber, and delivers a 3-0. Strike right over the middle of the plate. Morgan taking all the way. Roberts throws a nice pitch right down the gut. Gets back to a 3-1 count now with 2 outs. Lula's got Hopkins, the pitcher, on deck in the number 4 hole. If Morgan reaches, a 3-1 pitch delivered, strike 2. Same place, nice pitch as he hit the outside corner this time. It's got the count down 3-2 after falling behind 3-0. So Morgan will look down to his coach, get his signal, step back in as, again, Brody Roberts shakes off Tyson. Now he says, that's the one I want. He delivers a 3-2. It's going to be a hard shot to Dees. Gets down on one knee. Nice grab by him and a throw across the plate for the 3rd out of the inning. Mavericks go get the Trojans 1-2-3 on a really nice play by Dees. It was a sharply hit ball. He goes down to a knee at shortstop, fields it cleanly, and makes a hard throw over. And we will come back for the bottom half of the first inning when we come back from Power 107.
What the boys don't understand is you gotta play music that the fans like. This is just music they're putting out, practicing. I cannot play Dixieland like because last time we were here, the kids, they're, you know how when you sing, you only wanna know how, why I do the drink, and people will respond to get drunk. Well, there's stuff to do to Dixieland Light, it's about screw. And so Poe called me, she was texting me, you gotta stop playing that song, I'm afraid of it. I didn't know.
Welcome back to Manchester Academy Baseball. Mavericks go batting .455 on the season. He's got a 566 average on base. He'll step in and face the lefty Hopkins, and he's delivering his first pitch. Paul squares the bunt. The third baseman for Tallulah, Moberly, comes charging in. You don't see this often as the first pitch goes wide for ball. Third baseman for Tallulah's a seventh grader, a left-handed third baseman. That made a couple nice plays in the first game. Again, Paul squares the bunt, pulls back, and this time he's going to take a strike as both corners are charging. Mavericks Tuesday night took until they got a strike. It looks like they'll go with the same strategy tonight. It worked well for them. The 1-1 pitch on its way is going to hit Paul. Oh, just missed him. Thought it got him. He thought it got him, and the umpire told him to stay still. Count will go 2-1. Hopkins is a lefty, not a hard throwing when it doesn't look like, as his 2-1 pitch is going to be fouled back over the press box. Count even 2-2. He does have a nice little breaking ball, so he'll work the corners, use his breaking stuff to keep the Mavericks off balanced. 2-2 count with Paul in the batter's box will be fouled off back over the right field side toward the softball here at Manchester Academy. As the clouds have started rolling in again, nothing's showing on the radar right now, but 2-2 count to Paul as we're just underway in the bottom of the first inning. Mavericks and Trojans tied 0-0, and the 2-2 pitch comes in, and Paul's going to swing at a nice low fastball inside. He's going to miss it and strike out. Hopkins will get a strikeout. It's going to bring up Brody Walker, the left-handed hitter for the Mavericks.
Number 21, Brody Walker.
Mavericks just need to sit back on Hopkins. He's not overpowering, not chase the balls out of the zone. So Walker will step in, the number 2 hole hitter, batting .379 on the season. He leads the team in home runs with 13 and RBIs at 65. First pitch to him comes in. It's going to be a line drive that Hopkins has to duck underneath. It kind of slices back toward the shortstop, who makes the play up the middle, catches a good one. Hopkins turns to the Manchester dugout, gives him the horns down sign.
Number 10, Dean Tyson.
After the put-out, brings up Tyson. So little talking going on as Hopkins, the pitcher, gives the horns down sign. In batting .379 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to him is going to miss outside. Count will be 1-0. So Walker hit the ball well, right at the shortstop. Hopkins down 1-0 now to Tyson. Pitch comes inside, catches the corner. The umpire says the count's 1-1 with 2 outs. Tyson turned around and asked the umpire something. He said it hit the corner. It appeared he pointed down. So Tyson will step back in 1-1. It'll be a breaking ball that he's way out in front of. Count's going to be 1-2. Mavericks are going to have to sit back and wait on Hopkins, as he's not going to be overpowering. They're going to see a lot of breaking balls and off-speed pitches from him. He's going to deliver the 1-2 now. It's going to miss outside, and the count evens at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. So the 2-2 pitch on its way. It's going to be a line drive, this time over the shortstop's head. It's going toward the gap. Center fielder makes a nice play, cuts it off. He'll limit Tyson to a single. The Mavericks have the first base runner on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, and Brody Roberts coming to the bat.
Now batting, number 13, Brody Roberts.
We'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher, and Tyson's going to be Hayden Austin. He started last game when Roberts DH'd for him, and Brody Walker was on the mound. He's been mostly pinch running this year. He does have 12 stolen bases on the season. We'll see how they work this with the left-handed pitcher. The Mavericks like to run. They've stolen 157 bases out of 174 for a 91% success rate. As Brody Roberts will step in. Outfield and left field's playing deep. Right field's up against the fence, and center field's playing midway. Infield's playing deep also with Roberts at bat. No threat to bunt with 2 outs as Hopkins will work from the stretch and deliver home. He'll miss high, ball 1. He gets the ball back. He'll start back on the stretch. He'll take a look over to first to check Austin. Now he'll take another look at Austin. Deliver home. Roberts was on that fastball but fouled it straight back. It was a good swing by Roberts. Even to 1-1 now. It's 1-2-3 in the first inning. Then Tyson, the catcher, the number 3 hole hitter, singled to left center to give the Mavericks a base run. They got a 1-1 count with 2 outs now on Brody Roberts, as Hopkins will make a move over to first where Austin gets back in easily. Dees will be on deck for the Mavericks if Roberts is able to reach base. He's got a 1-1 count on him. As Hopkins again will work out of the stretch, take a look over to first, and again move over. This time he looked to appear just about a balk. His foot came up, but it came toward home plate. The umpires didn't say anything, but it was close. He kind of hitched as he was about to deliver home, started toward the home plate with his foot, and then went back toward first. So the 1-1 pitch will be on its way. It's going to be a line drive past the third baseman on the ground. He dove for it, didn't get to it. Austin's going to go from first to third. He's going to get in safely, sliding. Brody Roberts will move to second on the throw to third. Heads up base running by Roberts. He'll get a single. Vance on the throw. That's back-to-back hits for the Mavericks, and it's going to bring up J.P. Dees.
Now batting, number 14, John Parker Dees.
So we'll have a timeout as the catcher, McDaniel, wants to go out and talk to Hopkins. They'll have another courtesy runner, this time for Roberts. Will be Grant Nixon. On the season, Nixon's got 5 stolen bases. As he's done a lot of pinch running also. He's actually had 3 stolen bases during the playoffs, only 2 during the regular season. They bring up Dees batting .376 on the season and .362 with runners in scoring position. Dees has 27 RBIs. He'll face the left-hander Hopkins. He'll work again from the stretch. This time he'll have his back to third base, being a left-hander. Pitch comes into Dees. First pitch he swings is going to be fouled back toward the first base side and out of play. Count will be 0-1. So Roberts grounded a hard ball past the diving Moberly at third base for the Trojans. Gives the Mavericks runners on second and third, as Hopkins will have to work around them now with 2 outs and Dees at the plate and down 0-1. Hopkins will deliver home. This time missing outside, and the count evens to 1-1. Base hit here would score 2 for the Mavericks with Nixon speed at second. Hopkins again looks in for his signal. Delivers the 1-1. Strike 2 as Dees was way out ahead of a sinking changeup. Count will be 1-2 now with 2 outs. They'll have to choke up and protect the plate here. Mavericks trying to get on the board for the second straight game first. As Hopkins delivers the 1-2. And it's going to be a line drive to center field. The center fielder's going to come up and make the catch as it stayed in the air. It was well hit, but the center fielder got a good jump on it, made the catch. The Mavericks will leave 2 on base, 2 in scoring position. And they'll move to the top of the second inning, tied with Tallulah Academy 0-0 when we come back from Power 107.
Said they can hear me on YouTube, but I can't do anything about that.
Number 5 hole hitter and a right-hander catcher. First pitch is going to be a strike, a breaking ball by Roberts. He'll be up 0-1. So nice play by Dees. Gets the inning started good for the Mavericks as McDaniels finds himself down 0-1 and watches the second pitch come in low on a fastball to even the count 1-1. Mavericks defense in the outfield still playing pretty shallow. So far the Trojans in a game and a inning haven't been able to drive anything deep. Until they do, the Mavericks look content on playing the outfield shallow as Roberts delivers the 1-1 pitch. It's skied high down the first baseline, drifting foul toward the bullpen's going to go out of play near the batter's cage on the opposite side of the fence. And Roberts will get a 1-2 count here, 1 out, score tied 0-0 in the top of the second inning. Roberts had a strikeout in the first inning. He's up 1-2 here in the top of the second inning, and he'll deliver that pitch. Just missing low on a breaking ball. Count now will be 2-2 as the crowd continues to swell here. Manchester's got fans in right field bleachers full. All the home bleachers are full, and it's 6 or 7 deep down the first base side, standing room only. And I see heads peeking up over the fence in left field. Looks like students out there maybe on the trucks as Roberts will deliver a 2-2 pitch and miss low. Count now will be 3-2. As McDaniels, the catcher for Tallulah, has worked a 3-2 count after being down 1-2. Roberts will want to make them swing the bat. Mavericks don't want to issue any walks tonight. So Brody climbs back on the mound. He looks in and will start his windup and deliver the pitch. Just missing low right down the middle. A nice take, a gutsy take by McDaniels. That one looked good all the way. He'll get a walk, though, and they'll bring up Morrison, the center fielder.
Now batting, number 5, Brayson Morrison.
So Tallulah gets their first base runner of the game and brings up the right-handed hitting Morrison. He'll step in. The center fielder made a nice catch in the inning against the Mavericks in the bottom half of the first. Mavericks had 2 runners on, and he came up on a line drive by Dees, was able to make the catch, retire the side. Now the Trojans are batting. They've got 1 out and a runner on first base, and McDaniels, as Roberts will take a look over. McDaniels has a nice sized lead already. Roberts delivers home. It's going to be a ground ball past Paul, who was playing way in front of third base down the left field side. Nice job by Burton to get down the line and keep McDaniels from going to third base. So a base hit, a walk, and then a base hit by Morrison gives them Trojans runners on first and second, and it brings up Moberly.
Now batting, number 2, Luke Moberly.
Mavericks got caught cheating in on that when Paul was way inside on the grass. I guess they thought they were going to bunt. Had he been playing back normal depth, that would have been an easy play, but it got by him so fast he couldn't do anything. He wasn't just terribly hit hard, but he was 30 feet inside the baseline or inside the base path. So Roberts will have a 1 out in the inning, and he'll deliver the first pitch, and it scoots away from Tyson. Ball that should have been caught. It's going to be a ball that was right down the middle, just low. Gives the Trojans runners on second and third as Tyson let it go down between his legs and couldn't find it. Both runners moved up. See if maybe with the 7th grader Morgan at bat, if they'll try maybe a safety squeeze here. Roberts down 1-0 with 1 out. Trojans got runners on second and third. First pitch comes. It's going to be a line drive to Dees. Jumps up, hits his glove, and bounces out. It would have been a good play. Probably should have had it hit in the webbing, but popped out. He would have had the runner on third doubled up, but he drops it, and the runner comes home. Mavericks will be down 1-0 here, and Tallulah will have runners on the corners now. We'll have to see how they score
batting,
that one.
Number 6, Cade Morgan.
It'll bring up Morgan, the DH. They gave him a single. He had to go up high for it. It did hit his glove. It would have been a great catch. It would have been an easy double play had he been able to hold down. Scores give the hit to the batter Mobley. Now the runners on the corners with 1 out. Mavericks find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Down 1-0 here in the top of the second as Roberts will deliver home. They'll square it bunt, square it right back to him. He's going to throw home. They're going to get the out at home plate. A nice play by Roberts. The bunt was hit straight back at him pretty hard. He fielded it cleanly, threw it into Tyson, and Tyson applied the tag as the runners tried to slide underneath them. The Mavericks get a much-needed out at home. Good try by the Tallulah Trojans as they were trying to get a safety squeeze. The runner decided to come on when he bunted it. The coach now is wanting to talk to him about whether he was out or safe. He was clearly out. He tagged him on his head a good 2 or 3 feet away from the bag or the plate. But nevertheless, it was a clean out. 2 outs now for the Mavericks. A big out at home plate. Nice play by Brody Roberts. The runners will be on first and second. Now for the Trojans, it's going to bring up the number 9 hole hitter in Boyd. So Roberts delivers to Boyd. First pitch is fastball inside. Gets him swinging. He couldn't catch up to it. He'll be up 0-1 against Boyd after he got the 1-2 put out on Morrison. So again, he'll look in. Moberly, the runner on second, took a big lead on the first pitch. And again, Roberts will throw a fastball in that Boyd can't catch up to. This one wastes time. He's up 0-2. We'll see if they give him a curveball here. Roberts has a nice curveball. He'll work on the outside part of the plate. And he's up 0-2 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. He'll deliver the pitch. It'll be a fastball. It's going to be popped up high down third base side over toward the dugout. Paul and Tyson giving chase to it, and it's going to fall foul on top of the dugout. Counter remain 0-2 as the Mavericks came back with a 0-2 fastball against Boyd. Didn't try to get fancy on that one or anything. As Roberts will trudge back to the mound, they'll have an 0-2 count. Mavericks down just for the second time in the playoffs for their 7-0. They were down against Tallulah Academy in the second game of the best-of-3 series where they came back to win 16-10, and the 0-2 pitch on its way. This time a breaking ball is popped up toward first base. Ty Walton's over, makes the catch by the dugout on Manchester's side, so no more damage is done. Get out of the inning as the Trojans leave 2 on base, but the Trojans do pick up a run on 2 hits. They leave 2 on base, and they lead the Mavericks 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the second inning. When we come back from Power 1.
Good night, JP could grab that.
Yeah, that was an easy double play. It took off. Get out of the inning after having runners on the corners. They were able to get a put out at home plate and then a pop fly in foul territory as Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher for Tallulah, finishes up his pitches. Due up for the Mavericks will be Dees in the number 5 hole, followed by Burton and Johnson. Dees scored the first run Tuesday night on a single by Burton.
Number 6, Garner Burton.
My mistake. Actually, Dees flew out at the end of the last inning. Due up will be Burton and Johnson Walton. I missed one on the scorecard there as Burton will step in and face the left-handed Hopkins. So Hopkins delivers the first pitch, a breaking ball. First pitch swings, going to be a pop fly to shortstop. He's underneath it, and the Tallulah Academy Trojans will have the first out of the inning as Tweedle gets underneath the ball and makes the catch, and it brings up Ryan Johnson.
Now batting, number 7, Ryan Johnson.
That was a first pitch curveball that Burton swung at, and he popped foul. Hopkins will step back on. The left-hander face the right-handed hitting Johnson. First pitch comes. It's going to be a strike over the inside part of the plate. Umpire behind the plate slow on his calls, doesn't get in a big hurry. 0-1 pitch comes in. This time it's going to hit Johnson. It'll give the Mavericks a runner. Second time in 2 innings they've gotten a runner on base as Johnson was hit by a pitch, and it brings up the left-handed hitting Walton.
Now batting number 25, Ty Walton.
So Walton steps in from the left side. He's batting .277 on the season. He's got Johnson on first base with a big lead. Hopkins, the left-hander, looks over. He'll deliver home. Be fouled back into the team. Count 0-1 against Walton. Johnson's on first base after being hit by a pitch. He's got 14 stolen bases on the season. So he's run. As Hopkins, the left, to keep him close, he'll get his look over. Make a move as Johnson easily gets back in. Walton will step back in. I noticed Walton's changed back to his yellow hat he used at the beginning of the season. Then went away from it. It's the first time I've seen it in a while. As the 0-1 pitch from Hopkins comes in. Breaking ball just one. Reed Roberts, the number 9 hole hitter, stays on deck for the Mavericks. They're down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. They have a runner on first base, and Johnson 1 out, and Walton at that with a 1-1 count against Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher. He'll take a look over to first, come home. Johnson's on the run. It's going to be a out at first base as the third baseman throws across on a kind of nub short. Third base as the stop got in his way. I'm not sure they're on the runners. They didn't. Hester's asking the umpire to come. Not sure why he didn't. Second, with the intent of coming to third, as the third baseman was not on the bag, was way inside making the play on Walton. And they'll discuss this real quick. Plate umpire, first base umpire, second base umpire. Now the Tallulah coach is coming out. He's arguing after a favorable call. He'll go to third base on the interference by Tweedle, the shortstop. Mavericks do have 2 outs as Walton was put out 5-3 at first. He moves the runner over.
Now batting
And
number
the home
5,
plate umpire just
Reed
gave a warning
Roberts.
to the Tallulah coach, who was obviously upset about the call. The umpire at second missed it. The other 2 umpires, after having a conference, they made the right decision, the right call. Hopkins will face Reed Roberts now. He's got a runner in scoring position on third base. He's batting .333 on the season with runners in scoring position as Johnson takes his lead. First pitch comes in high, ball 1 as Hopkins misses on a fastball. Mavericks were hitting and running on the last one where Walton lined toward third. Johnson was way off the back. Luckily, the third baseman let it short hop. Get out. No. Trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. There are 2 outs with Johnson on third base. Reed Roberts will step back in as Hopkins will work out of the stretch and deliver home. And miss inside. Roberts spins out of the way. The ball misses him. The count moves to 3-0. He'll definitely be taken. The Mavericks trying to get back to the top half of their lineup. And again, misses just high, maybe out. Took it all the way. He's going to be on first.
Number 17, Mitchell.
Roberts to first base. He's got 9 steals on the season. Paul steps in. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. As Reed Roberts will probably run on the first or second pitch, I would think here. See if they would try to throw him out. I doubt they would to Tallulah Academy while they're up 1-0. Hopkins will deliver home. Roberts goes halfway, and now he goes all the way. They throw down to third behind Johnson. It would have been a close play had it not been thrown to the left of the bag. Roberts will get a stolen base. He'll hit double digits now as his 10th stolen base of the season. The pitch was low and outside for a ball. Paul will get a 1-0 count with 2 outs. He's got runners on second and third as Hopkins delivers home. It'll be a high fly ball deep to left field. The left fielder's going back up against the wall and makes a catch right up against the wall. And for the second straight inning, the Mavericks leave 2 runners on second and third base. They've left 4 on now through 3 innings, all 4 in scoring position. As Tallulah is able to get out of the inning, they lead 1-0. They'll go to the top of the third inning with that lead when we come back from Power 107. Lead 1-0 game series is off.
Will be number 4, Landry.
Pulled it just a little bit. It probably would have been a home run, but it was a long out, and Mavericks failed to score for the second straight inning with runners on second and third base. And it's going to bring up the top of the lineup for Tallulah and Tweedle, Bedgood, and Morgan to face Roberts for the second time. Roberts will stay on the mound. He's thrown 27 pitches in. He got Tweedle to pop out to second base to start the game. His first pitch is going to be high for ball 1. As the Mavericks are trailing 1-0. Infield will play deep for the Mavericks. Roberts will deliver the 1-0. Strike on a foul ball back to the catcher. So 1-1 count now to Tweedle as he steps back in. Roberts gets his signal to deliver the 1-1 out of the windup. Missing badly outside on a breaking ball. The count's now 2-1. So a 2-1 count now, Tweedle. No outs here as we're just underway in the top of the third, and Roberts delivers the 2-1. Missing again outside. Counts now 3-1. Roberts walked a runner in the second inning. He's the only run of the game so far as he came around. He's down 3-1 to Tweedle. 3-1 pitch on its way, strike right down the middle. Nice pitch by Roberts as he comes back to get a strike and make the count 3-2. Big pitch coming up as the Mavericks don't want to put Tweedle on base. 3-2 coming. Line drive going to be foul just barely over the third base bag. It wasn't more than a foot or two foul as Tweedle pulled it past Paul. Ball goes foul. It's just a strike, and the count stays at 3-2. Roberts threw a fastball inside. Tweedle turned on it. So again, he'll work a 3-2 count against Tweedle. Pitch will be coming. Strike three, swinging on a nice changeup by Roberts over the outside part of the plate. He'll get the first out on a strikeout. It'll bring up Bedgood, the right fielder.
Now batting, number 9, Wyatt Bedgood.
Roberts gets his second strikeout of the game. His first one was Bedgood, the batter, in the first inning. So Bedgood will step in second time, the right fielder, after striking out in the first. As Roberts looks in, gets his signal, delivers, and misses low again. Count will be 1-0. Roberts missed low. Most of his pitches today that have missed have been low. He's thrown 34 pitches so far. 21 of them have been strikes. He's down 1-0 to Bedgood. The pitch on his way, missing high this time, right down the middle. But the umpire's got a tight zone today, and the count's now 2-0. We're in the top of the third inning, 1-0. With one out, Coach Weaver's going to call a timeout and go talk to his pitcher. While he's doing that, we'll thank some sponsors: Bank Plus, William Clark and Morrison, Ayers Delta Implement, Main Street Market, Manchester Academy, Scott Petroleum, Coghlan Planning Company, Yazoo Valley Electric, Bank of Yazoo, Spencer Ready Mix, from Power 107. So the umpire from home plate's making his way out to the mound to get this meeting over with as he's listening on the conversation. Weaver's leaving the mound. The umpire's heading back. Tyson's got a few more words. Now he's heading home. And we'll be back underway here in just a second as the Mavericks trail 1-0 in the top of the third inning. They have one out in the inning on a strikeout of Tweedle, the leadoff hitter, and it's got Bedgood, the number 2 hole hitter, with Morgan on deck. Bedgood steps back in from the right side, up 2-0 against Brody Roberts. As Roberts looks in and delivers the pitch. It's going to be a pop fly to the infield. Second short, just about collide as Johnson makes a diving catch. The ball was kind of a flare toward second base. Both players came in hard, and at the last second, Dees at shortstop veered off. Johnson makes a diving catch across the bag for the. Bringing up Morgan, who grounded out to Dees his first time up. He'll face Roberts here in the third inning after going 0 for 1 his first time around. First pitch to him is going to miss low. It'll bounce into the catcher's chest, pop away. The umpire grab it, give Tyson a second to walk it off as Morgan's up 1-0 now. Roberts will walk back to the mound. So Roberts now is waiting on Tyson. He's still shrugging it off as it caught him kind of high on the shoulder. Morgan's up 1-0 with 2 outs. He'll step back in against Brody Roberts. Roberts will deliver the 1-0 pitch to the right-handed batting Morgan. Miss again low, and the count's 2-0 as Roberts having a little control. Not walked anybody this inning, but he's falling behind 3-0, 2-0, and now 2-0 again. He does have 2 outs as he got the first 2 batters out on strike, pop fly, and now he's got a fastball's hit a long ways to left center and high, but Walker, the fielder's going to get underneath it, camp out, wait on it, and make the catches. He'll retire Morgan again. The Mavericks get the top of the leadoff, or the top 3 of the Tallulah's batting order out 1-2. They'll come to the bottom. We come back for Power 107. time up, and he'll face Hopkins. Batting .379 on the season as he steps in with a team high 13 home runs. And Hopkins will deliver the first pitch to him. And it's going to hit him high into his forearm pad. He'll trot down to first base. Mavericks had the leadoff runner on for the first time today after a hit by pitch on Walker, and brings up Tyson.
Now batting number 10, Dean Tyson.
Tyson has one of the only 2 hits for the Mavericks through 2 innings of play. He had a single to left center earlier in the game. He's got a runner on first base, and Walker's got 23 stolen bases on the season, the 3rd highest total behind Dees and Paul. And he's got a big lead against Hopkins with the left-handed hitting Tyson up. Hopkins will deliver home and miss outside on a fastball. Again, Hopkins has a kick that kind of comes toward home plate, kind of scrunches back, and then delivers home. It's hard read for the first baseman. Now they're going to call a timeout. I'm wondering what they're saying to him. He's saying the second base umpire said something. I think he rubbed the ball on his pants leg. The pitcher Hopkins did. That's exactly what happened. The second base umpire told him to get a new ball to make sure nothing was put on the ball. He'll start his routine over as he was rubbing the ball on his pants legs, and that's a no-no, and he's had a warning now. The next time it'll be a balk. Walker takes a big lead as Hopkins looks over and makes a move, and Walker gets back standing up. Left fielder's up against the wall at the 333 sign. He's 10 feet away from it. Right fielder's playing deep also. The center fielder's still playing shallow, but is moved toward right center a little more. As the left-handed Tyson's up against the left-handed Hopkins, the pitch comes. Strike one, swinging. The count evens to 1-1 here with no outs. Mavericks left 4 runners on today. All 4 have been in scoring position, have failed to get a hit when they needed it. And trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd as Walker takes a big lead this time, and Hopkins will make another move over. And again, Walker's able to get back standing up. On deck will be Brody Roberts, pitcher for the Mavericks, as he's the cleanup hitter. No outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Tyson's got a 1-1 count with Walker taking a big lead. We'll see if he goes here on 1-1. He does. Pitch is going to be high. It was a hit and run all the way. Walker's going to be thrown out as he did not make a great slide in. Looked like he slowed up a little bit. McDaniels, the catcher's going to throw him out. Mavericks had a hit and run on. Tyson swung at a pitch over his head trying to protect the runner, missed it. Walker's thrown out for the first out of the inning, and Tyson finds himself down 1-2. So Tyson steps back in as Hopkins will go from the windup now, deliver the 1-2. It's going to be a base hit up the middle. Tyson will be 2 for 2. The Mavericks will have another runner on after getting Walker thrown out trying to steal. Only the 18th time this year out of 175 attempts the Mavericks were thrown out, and it brings up Brody Roberts.
Now batting number 13, Brody Roberts.
So Roberts will step in. He singled his first time up on a hard shot down the left field line, a ground ball that got past the diving third baseman Moberly for Tallulah Academy. He'll step in now as there's a pinch runner in Austin for Tyson, a courtesy runner. Roberts will step in versus the left-handed Hopkins. Pitch comes home. It's going to miss inside, and the count's going to be 1-0. Hopkins has only thrown 36 pitches so far today. He's been able to get the Mavericks to ground out and pop out. He's a crafty little left-hander. As Austin takes his lead, and not a big one at first, he'll take a look over and deliver home to Robertson. He's going to hit him. That'll be the second time a batter's been hit this inning. Gives Mavericks runners on first and second with Dees.
Now batting number 14, John Parker Dees.
For the 3rd inning in a row, the Mavericks have had 2 runners on base with less than 2 outs. We'll see if they can do anything this time with them as they got a runner in scoring position. Dees stepping in batting .362 with runners in scoring position. The third baseman, Moberly, playing way back on third base. Not sure if the Mavericks would try to bunt Dees here as he's a very good bunter. First base is not holding on. Burton's on deck. We'll see what kind of strategy we have for the Mavericks as they got runners on first and second with one out, trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Hopkins will deliver home. Dees does square and lays a nice one down third base side that's going to go foul. Good idea. As the Mavericks were about to play some small ball, that ball stays fair. It's an easy base hit. It's the third baseman, Moberly, was way back along with Morgan, the first baseman. And again, Moberly will play even with the bag with a runner on second, but now Morgan moves in. And now the Trojans are going to shift around everybody. Shortstop will go almost to third. The second baseman's going to play on second base. We'll watch Dees. He'll be swinging away, I imagine, now with Moberly way in. Pitch on its way. He's going to hit him. And that's the third hits Batman this inning by Hopkins. The Mavericks have the bases loaded now. And Burton coming to deck to bat.
Now batting number 6, Garner Burton.
We're going to have a timeout by Tallulah's coach. Mavericks are in business here with the bases loaded. Lots of ducks on the pond and one out. Burton drove in the first run of the game the other night, had a nice night. He was 3 for 4 on the night. He'll face the left-hander Hopkins here as the Trojans are having a meeting with the whole infield. Mavericks got the leadoff runner on in Walker. He was hit by a pitch before being thrown out, trying to steal second. Then Tyson singled, and then back-to-back hits batsmen have the bases loaded for the Mavericks here in the bottom of the third. The umpire's going to head out to the mound and break this party up, tell them let's get back to playing baseball here. As the wind's picking up a little bit here now, swapping directions. It was blowing out of the north-northwest. Now it's blowing out of the due west, or south-southwest is blowing toward center field. As the flag's starting to pick up a little bit and Burton stepping in. Left field's playing deep, right field's playing deep, center field's playing about 290, 300 away from home plate as Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher, is going to work out of the windup here. Corner's on the grass. First pitch comes in strike as Burton was taken all the way. So Morgan and Moberly, the first and third baseman, have moved to the grass. They're going to try to throw a runner out at home as Hopkins is going to deliver the 0-1. Misses just outside. The count's now 1-1. Johnson's on deck for the match. Ball rubs it against his pants leg, and the umpire at second base requests a new ball and again says something to him. This time he was not on the rubber when he did it, so they're just going to make him swap. But he's been warned twice now as he toes the rubber. Walton will step in from the left side with the bases loaded. Huge at bat for the Mavericks. This pitch comes in, and it's going to hit Walton. He'll get a on base on the hits bat. It's been his story all year. It'll score D's. It's going to bring up Reed Roberts with the bases loaded.
Now batting number 5, Reed Roberts.
So Johnson will step up now. I'm sorry, Roberts will step in. Runners on all the bags. 2 outs. Mavericks lead 2-1. Pitch comes. Strike right down the middle as he takes it. Bases loaded. Burton's on third. Johnson's on second. Pitch comes in again. A breaking ball misses high and outside, and Hopkins has lost his groove just a little bit here. He's hit 4 batters this inning. He's hit 5 on the day. As Reed Roberts worked the count to 1-1 with 2 outs. Bases loaded. Mavericks leading 2-1. The 1-1 pitch on its way. And it's going to be a swinging foul ball. Roberts let it get in on him, decided to swing at the very last second and fouled it into the ground. Count will move to 1-2. All the weights on deck. Burton's 90 feet away from giving the Mavericks another run as they lead 2-1, and Hopkins delivers the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Got him as he got one over the outside corner. Roberts couldn't catch it. That'll end the inning for the Mavericks on a strikeout. They do get the lead, but leave 3 runners on. They left 7 on through 3 innings of play, but lead 2-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning when we come back from Power 107. step in. He hit 4 batters in the last inning, gave up a couple of runs. The Mavericks had a chance to bang in some more. Reed Roberts struck out to end the inning against Hopkins, and the Mavericks left 3 more on base. They've left 7 on base in the game, 6 of them in scoring position through 3 innings. Just can't get timely hits as Roberts will look in and deliver his first pitch of the 4th inning against Hopkins. It's going to be a strike right down the middle. Roberts got out of last inning 1-2-3, but fell behind each batter 2-0. Was able to get him to swing at bad pitches as he delivers the 0-1 to Hopkins. Missing inside this time, the count evens to 1-1. Hopkins' his first time up the line to shortstop as Dees made a good backhanded catch in the hole, threw across the diamond to get him a 1-hopper to Walton. Roberts will deliver the 1-1 and this time miss outside, and he'll fall 2-1 behind on the count to Hopkins. Mavericks don't need to put any base runners on as they're trying to seal the deal here in the second game of the best 3-game series, up 1-0. And the 2-1 pitch on its way is going to be a ground ball to third base. Paul comes in front of short, makes the catch, throws across to Ty Walton. They'll get the out. The Tallulah Academy coach is arguing with the first base coach, Walton, or umpire, that Walton came off the bag. He's not going to win this argument.
Number 8, J.T.
As Walton made a nice stretch to get the out, a 5-3 put out, bringing up McDaniels. McDaniels walked in the second inning and scored the only run so far for Tallulah. As he'll step in to face Roberts the second time today, the first pitch on its way is going to be a breaking ball that misses just barely. This umpire's got a really tight strike zone. As that one broke out across plate, looked like it caught the corner from the press box. And Roberts falls behind 1-0. He'll deliver the 1-0. It's going to be another ground ball to Paul. Scoops it up, makes a throw across the plate, and gets another out. Nice play on a big hopper. This time stood his ground, didn't have to move, and made a strike across the field to Walton. And that's going to bring up Morrison.
Now batting, number 5, Brayson Morrison.
So Morrison singled his first time up. He was the first hit of the game for Tallulah. Singled down the third base side. He wasn't a hard hit, but Paul was playing way in, expecting a bunt. He steps back in here in the top of the 4th with 2 outs as Roberts will deliver his first pitch to him. This time he does get a breaking ball right over the plate as Morrison kind of leaned back, and it came right over the plate, broke 2 or 3 feet from left to right, and he's up 0-1. He'll throw the same pitch, more of a slider this time, and get Morrison to swing at it as it fell out of the zone. He's up 0-2. We'll see if he'll maybe throw him a fastball up high here, or they'll stick with the curveball. 0-2 pitch on its way. Check swing, strike 3. He did. He threw a fastball over the inside part of the plate. Morrison check swung. He went around. Roberts will record his 3rd strikeout, and for back-to-back innings, will get Tallulah 1-2-3. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Mavericks will be up to bat, leading 2-1 when we come back from Power 107. Facing Hopkins again in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Hopkins hit 4 batters for the Trojans in the last inning. The Mavericks were able to take the lead 2-1. look to build on is they've had problems getting runners in from scoring position. It's Paul's going to be the first batter. He'll step in after being 0 for 2 on the day.
Now batting, number 17, Mills Paul.
I was just counting the fans here, and best estimate I've got, we're somewhere between 300 and 400 fans at the ballpark. The biggest crowd by far of the year as they're watching the second game of a best-of-3 series for the state championship as Paul steps in and grounds a weak ball to third base as Mobley picks it up, makes the throw across. A nice play by the left-handed third baseman to get Paul. He's now 0 for 3. It's going to bring up Brody Walker for the second straight inning.
Now batting, number 21, Brody Walker.
So Walker's going to step in. He's 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch last inning and thrown out trying to steal second base as he'll face Hopkins for the second time. Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher, not a very hard pitcher, but a lot of breaking balls, keeps the ball low, and the Mavericks just hadn't been able to connect. He'll deliver the first pitch, and it's going to be a fly ball, deep right field. The right fielder's over by the line and makes the catch about 5 foot in fair territory right on the wall. He'll retire Walker, and Hopkins has 2 outs in just 2 pitches, and he'll face Tyson.
Now batting, number 10, Dean Tyson.
So Tyson's going to step in 2 for 2 on the day. He scored the Mavericks' first run last inning to tie the game. And he'll face Hopkins for the third time. The first pitch comes, be a ball missing outside. Count will be 1-0. As Tyson will step back in and Hopkins will work fast now out of the windup. It's going to be a high fly ball to left field. Left fielder's coming over toward the line. He'll make the catch. The Mavericks see 4 pitches. It's not being very patient for the most part Tuesday night. They'll go to the top of the 5th, leading 2-1. We come back to 7. Welcome back to Manchester Academy Baseball. Mavericks take a slim 2-1 lead into the top of the 5th inning as Brody Roberts will stay on the mound for the Mavericks. On the day, Roberts has only thrown 49 pitches through 4 innings. He's in good shape. If he can keep his pitch count down here, he'll face the
Luke Moberly.
So probably the earlier in the game on a single. Breaking ball come across. Again, this time missing. It counts 2-0, and again, far. He's been able to work himself out of these situations, but he can't keep doing it. Tallulah's a good hitting team. 2-0 pitch comes in low, and the count's now 3-0. And Mobley's watched 3 straight pitches come in, none of them. So he'll be up 3-0, trying to get on as a leadoff runner here. 3-0 pitch comes, misses outside. That one from up here, I thought it was outside. 3-1. Roberts gets a little help, see if he can come back. Pitching. And Mobley will get a leadoff walk, and he'll be the tying run on first base with no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Bring up the DH Morgan, who flew out his first time up.
Now batting, number 6, Cade Morgan.
He'll step in from the right side, as Roberts will have to work from the stretch with the runner Mobley. Walton for Manchester. Will play shallow. And Paul's going to come in on the grass again in front of him. Offered that it's going to be a strike one. As Roberts will step back on, we'll see if they try to bunt again. Again, Paul comes in front of third base. Mobley, the runner, is leaning back toward first. Again, it's a bunt attempt. This time it's going to be popped up all the way over the backstop, and the count's going to be 0-2. So an 0-2 count in 2 pitches. Morgan wasn't able to get either one of them down, and he'll be down 0-2. So Roberts needs to get a strikeout. It'll help him get an out with a run on first base. Actually, 2-1 here. With a run on first. 0-2 pitch on its way. A breaking by Tallulah. It's way over from right field. Got to catch. As Johnson, the second baseman, and Walker were all converging on the ball, Roberts calls them off and makes the catch, and it's going to bring up Boyd.
Now batting.
Alton. Mobley had to come back to first base on the nice Roberts in right field. We'll get a swing and strike one again. So he jumps out ahead of Boyd, 0-1. Mobley on first takes a little bit bigger lead now as Roberts will work out the stretch. He'll take a quick and then deliver the 0-1 home. It's going to be a flare, this time to shallow right field, that Reed Roberts makes a diving catch on his knees, sliding. Back-to-back great plays by Reed Roberts. This time he robs him of a base hit. He was out of point, and he came in as soon as it was hit. I thought it was going to be Tweedle, the leadoff hitter. So back-to-back putouts have 2 outs now for the Mavericks, and Tweedle up versus Roberts. First pitch comes to Tweedle. It's going to miss low. Count's going to be 1-0. Tweedle is pop fly to second base and then struck out in the third inning. He's up 1. Mavericks have backed their defense up in the infield. Still playing shallow in the outfield. It's going to be a line drive past the diving Paul at third for a base hit. It'll move Mobley up to second base, give the Trojans in scoring position.
Batting, number 9.
So Bedgood's going to step in 0-2. He struck out his first time, then flew out on a diving catch by Johnson where he caught it basically on second base on a little flare across over the pitcher's mound. And he brings Bedgood up again from batting from the right side with 2 outs here. Trojans have runners in scoring position. Pitch comes in, strike, right over the middle of the plate, waist high. As Bedgood watches it go by, Roberts up 0-1. He's down now to 61 pitches. So 0-1 pitch from Roberts. Comes in, misses low on a fastball as Bedgood takes it. Evens the count to 1-1. Manchester needs to get out of this inning, come to bat in the bottom of the fifth, see if they can add their 2-1 lead. They took the lead in the third, but both teams failed to score in the fourth, and the 1-1 pitch on its way. And again, Roberts misses low and outside, and he's down 2-1 now. So Brody will have to dig deep here. Can't allow another base runner. Doesn't want to fall too far behind on the count as Morgan, the three-hole hitter, sits on deck and the best hitter for Tallulah. 2 outs and a 2-1 pitch. It's going to be a ground ball, slow into Dees. He picks it up, tosses over to second, gets the sliding Tallulah Trojan just barely as he tosses it to Johnson. The Mavericks get out of the inning as Tallulah leaves 2 on base. They've now left 4 on base and 2 in scoring position. The Mavericks will come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a narrow 2-1 lead when we come back from Power 107. Welcome back to Manchester Academy Baseball. Mavericks lead the second game of a best-of-3 series against Tallulah Academy for the 3A state championship as Hopkins, the pitcher for Tallulah Academy, will stay on the mound. He's only given up 4 hits, 2 runs against the Mavericks. Mavericks pitcher Brody Roberts has given up 3 hits and 1 run. We've got a pitcher's duel going here at Parks McGraw Field in Yazoo City. Due up for the Mavericks this inning will be the pitcher for the Mavericks, Brody Roberts, followed by Dees and Burton.
Now batting, number 13, Brody Roberts.
Brody's reached base 2 times today. The first time on a base hit down third baseline. Second time he was hit by a pitch and came around to score the lead run as he'll step back in to face Hobson for the 3rd time as Hobson, the left-hander, delivers. It's going to be a line drive base hit. He left that one over the middle, and it was ripped to left field. It'll be a single for Roberts. Give the Mavericks a leadoff runner, and we'll have here in the bottom half of the field as Nixon comes in as the courtesy runner and brings Dees up.
Number 14, John Parker Dees.
So Dees steps in batting from the right side. He'll have Burton on deck. Courtesy runner is in Nixon. We'll see if they try to bunt him over as the third baseman, Moberly's, come way in. Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher, looks to first, delivers home. The Mavericks will bunt. They throw a pitch out and try to throw behind Nixon, but he gets back. They'll have a 1-0 count now on Dees as he pulled back. The pitch was way outside, appeared to be a pitch out, and the Trojans are going to call a timeout here. I'm not sure they're going to make a pitching change, but they're going to talk about some strategy with Dees squaring to bunt. While they're doing that, we'll thank some of our sponsors: Bank Plus, William Clark and Morrison, Ayers Delta Implement, Main Street Market, Manchester Academy, but Scott Petroleum, Coghlan Planning Company, Yazoo Valley Electric, Bank of Yazoo, Spencer Ready Mix, Monasco Body Shop, P-Rose, Jim Newsom Trucking, A&A Calibration, and the South Group Insurance Company. Thank you to all these sponsors of Manchester Academy Baseball that have brought you the Mavericks baseball team live on Power 107 all the way to the state championship this year. Thanks again to our sponsors. So the meeting's over at the mound. The Mavericks have a runner on first base, leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Dees is at bat, batting .376 on the season. He's 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch his second time up. Squared the bunt, but pulled back. He has Nixon. He's already squared, and Mobley, the third baseman's coming in. We'll see if he pulls back and hits. And he does, and he took a whack at it and missed it. As Mobley was way in, the coach is telling Mobley to get down on that type play. Faked the bunt and swung. The count's now 1-1. No outs. We'll see maybe if they try to lay one down again with a 1-1 count or swing away as Hopkins, the pitcher, makes a move to first base and Nixon gets in easily. Winds died down again here. It's still cloudy as these little thunder showers are popping up all around us. Luckily, none have hit here at the field. As Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher, again looks in from the stretch, he'll deliver home. And Dees squares the bunt and fouls it to the left side of third base. He'll be down 1-2 in the count now with no outs. Mavericks are having a hard time getting their bunts down. Normally a good bunting team. But Dees will have to protect the plate now against the left-handed pitcher. Infield's playing back now as Dees has a 1-2 count on. The outfield's playing pretty shallow for the Trojans. As Hopkins will look over to first base with a 1-2 count. He'll deliver home. Strikes out Dees. Didn't catch. Hopkins' ball moves a little bit, dives away from these right-handed batters. But now have one out as Dees strikes out and brings up Burton.
Now batting, number 6, Garner Burton.
Burton on the day is 0 for 2. He's popped out to the shortstop and grounded out to third base. He steps in as Hopkins will make another move over. Nixon's in easily. The Mavericks have got his move down right now as they're just about back on the bag before he lets the ball out of his hand. They probably should get a little bit bigger lead, the runners, but they're staying close to the base with the left-handed pitcher. The one-out pitch coming to Burton. It's going to be a ground ball to Mobley. Moves over to the line, makes his throw across to the first base to retire Burton. Nixon will go down to second base, but it'll be 2 outs as Johnson steps in. He steps in. He was hit by a pitch his first time up in the second, then drove in a run in the third inning with a single right up on into the middle of the field as he took the first pitch at Hopkins, delivered him and lined it back into center field, scored Roberts from third base. He's got a chance to drive in another run with the runner in scoring position versus Hopkins, who's looking back at Nixon on second. Pitch comes home. Going to be a strike right down the middle. Johnson's batting .405 with runner in scoring position this year. Again. 0-1 pitch from Hopkins on his way. It's going to be a little line drive that Morgan makes a nice play on first. Thought it was going to get by him. He goes toward second base, backhands it as it was a flare. Makes the play. The Mavericks leave another runner on base. The fifth one in scoring position today. They'll go down this inning with a lead 2-1 going to the top of the sixth when we come back from Power 107. Welcome back to Manchester Academy Baseball. Mavericks take a slim 2-1 lead in the top of the sixth inning. They'll have to work around the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters as Morgan, Hopkins, and McDaniels are up for the Trojans. Brody Roberts was
Now batting, number 10, D. Morgan.
He's thrown 65 pitches so far through 5 innings. He's in good shape as long as he keep his control under wraps, as he's got a good bit of pitches he's left to throw this week. First pitch comes into Morgan's going to miss outside on a breaking ball, and the count's going to be 1-0. Morgan's 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out to shortstop and flew out to left center to Walker back in the third inning. He'll face Brody Roberts for the third time, up 1-0, and Roberts going to miss high 2-0. So Roberts on the mound with a 2-0 count versus the number 3 hole hitting Morgan. He looks in, gets his signal, delivers home, missing outside, and called strike. The second time the umpires got me today when I thought it was a ball outside. Good for the Mavericks. Count goes to 2-1 as Roberts catches the corner. Morgan will step back in, and Roberts will deliver the 2-1. Fouled back into the fence as Morgan hits his bat against his fist. He wasn't real happy about that. Thought he should have been on that one, but Roberts slips one by him. Counts now 2-2. Roberts has battled back from a 2-0 count. Big pitch coming up for the Mavericks as they're looking for outs, up 2-1. Morgan will step back in. Roberts will deliver the 2-2. Check swing on a breaking ball. They're going to appeal down to first. And the umpire will say they didn't go. Count moved to 3-2. Three and two. Outfield's playing a little deeper with Morgan up. Infield playing deep also. Paul's 6 or 7 steps behind third base. 8 feet off the bags. A little room between him and the foul line if Morgan pulls one. As he steps back out of the box, and then he'll step back in. A 3-2 pitch on its way. Breaking ball. Nice pitch by Roberts. Fouled back over the screen again. Roberts just about fooled him. Morgan was able to get a piece of it, though, and stay alive at 3-2. A 3-2 count as Roberts steps back to cover. Pitch comes. Line drive, base hit to right. That ball out gets cuts it off, throws it back in.
Now batting, number 23, Hayes.
So that was Morgan's first series. And brings up Hopkins, the pitcher. We'll see if they try to bunt Hopkins over to move the runner. The bullpen for the Mavericks. I do see Austin warming up on the outside, which means that he would come in the field if Roberts doesn't get out of this inning. But pitch-wise, Roberts is in good shape. He'll deliver home. It's going to be high for ball 1 against Hopkins. He'll be down 1-0 with Morgan on first base, the tie and run for the Trojans. Mavericks needing some outs here. As Roberts will step back on the rubber, he'll get his signal, take a look over to first base, and Morgan will take his lead. He'll deliver home and miss outside, and Tyson lets the ball get by him. Morgan will go to second base easily as Tyson tried to backhand a ball that was a little bit low and outside instead of moving over, getting in front of it. And the ball goes to the fence. And we're going to have a pitching change. Chester comes out. Roberts has pitched a good game. They're going to bring in Paul. We're going to go to Power 107 while they make this pitching change and be back in a few minutes. Paul, he's up 2-0, and first pitch comes in, missing inside fastball. The count's going to be 3-0 now. Mavericks have 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and Tallulah's got 1 run on 4 hits with no errors. It's been a pitching duel today, and Paul's down 3-0 and delivers a pitch high. He'll come in. Hopkins give runners to first and second. Trojan in the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 8, J.T. McDaniel.
Brings up the catcher, McDaniels. Now we'll see if he may bunt. As Burton's still playing deep at third base. Walton's deep at first. Mavericks feeling like he's going to be swinging away here in the top of the 6th. As now they're shifting. Shortstop goes toward third. Paul's going to step off. They were going to see if he made a motion to bunt, and he didn't as Paul stepped off. Paul again steps back on. He'll look in with runners on first, second, deliver a pitch that catches the inside part of the plate. A nice pitch by Paul. 0-1 now to McDaniel, the catcher. He didn't square the bunt. He was going to hit away. Mavericks looking for a good play here to get an out in this inning. Second with 0-1. Here comes in. Ball misses 1. No outs. Mavericks are in trouble. Leading 2-1. Go all the way. That's going to be a 2-run double. Austin misplayed the ball and it went back over. He overran it a little bit. Goes all the way to the fence. The Mavericks are going to be trailing 3-2 now on the double by McDaniels, and it's going to bring up Morrison.
Now batting, Grayson Morrison.
All 2 runs, and they're going to Tallulah Academy. Paul still has no outs here in the top of the 6th. He's got a runner on second base as Morrison steps in. He'll square the bunt, and it's going to hit Morrison. Put runners on first and second. On first and second now, outs brings up Mobley. As Paul tries to regain his composure behind the mound. Mobley looks down, gets his signals. Paul will work out the stretch, take a look at second, deliver home on a squared bunt. The ball's going to be low and outside. Mobley, the number 7 hole hitter, is going to pull back, and the count's going to be 1-0. Mavericks are in desperate need of an out here in the top of the 6th inning. As Paul again will work out the stretch and deliver home. Again, he squares. This time he lays the bunt down straight to Paul. He'll take the easy out at first. Mobley does a good job laying down a sack bunt, bringing up Morgan, the DH.
Now batting, number 6, Cade Morgan.
I forgot to announce the other game. The Moberly kid, I didn't announce him.
So Morgan will step in the DH after the sack by Mobley. Gives 2 more runners for Trojans in scoring position as Paul will work out of the windup and just about hit Morgan on his first pitch, a breaking ball that didn't break. He misses them. The count's 1-0. Mavericks looking for an out here. They move the infield in. As Paul delivers a pitch, it's going to be a pop fly. Tyson's going back on, but it's going to fall out of play. A nice grab by somebody out in the stands as it gets over the net. Count's going to be 1-1. Tyson gave it a chase up against the fence, but he gets out in foul territory. Will be a nice out for the Mavericks as they got one out now in the inning with the 1-1 count on the DH Morgan. Runners on second and third for the Trojans. They lead 3-2 as they've scored 2 here in the top of the 6th and are threatening to score more. Versus Paul, who will work out of the windup. He'll deliver the 1-1. Breaking ball, nice pitch by Paul, gets Morgan swinging. Morgan on the day, he's 0 for 2. He's popped out twice. He's down 1-2 to Paul. Tyson's going to have to play good defense behind the plate as the 1-2 pitch is on its way. Another breaking ball this time, just barely misses low. Tyson does a nice job blocking it up. The count moves to 2-2 as Morgan didn't chase after the breaking ball that time. So a 2-2 count with runners on second and third, one out. Paul delivers the pitch. It's going to be a squib hit to second base. Johnson's going to come home with it and not make a good throw. They're going to score the run. Probably should have gone to first base on that one as it was a slow roller, had an easy out at first. Now Tallulah's going to have runners on the corners on first and third and still with one out. Mavericks should have traded an out. Or the Boyd, the number 9 hole hitter, comes up. He's 0 for 2 for the day. As the Mavericks can't get anybody out here, all of a sudden, they'll move everybody back now. Just try to get them out. Weren't able to do it at home plate. Boyd steps in against Paul for the first time today. It'll be a righty on righty matchup. Mavericks trailing 4-2 in the top of the 6th, and Paul delivers the pitch. It's going to be a strike right down the middle of the plate. Mavericks will have work to do after this inning. They're going to have to get the bats hot if they're going to have a chance to come back and win this game. They've got 6 outs left to do it. So the 0-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be a line drive towards center field. Walker gets under it. He's going to make a throw home. It's going to be a close play at the plate. They cut it off at the pitcher's man. It's going to be a sac fly by Boyd. A nice job of hitting as Walker got underneath it. Wasn't able to 6 and lead 5 down and brings up the top of the lineup in Tweedle.
Now batting number 4, Landry Tweedle.
So Tweedle comes up now. He is 1 for 3 today. Singled his last time up. In the 5th inning, he's popped out to second base and he's struck out. He's got a runner on first. Pitch comes into him low and outside on a breaking ball, and Paul falls behind 1-0 to Tweedle. With the runner on first base, and Morgan, the DH. 1-0 pitch comes. It's going to be a line drive down the left field line that's going to hook foul. That ball would have been trouble if it stayed fair, and the count's going to be 1-1. Mavericks hadn't made any errors this inning, but they've had 2 mental mistakes in the field that's cost them a couple outs. Find themselves trailing 5-2 here in the second game of the state championship best-of-3 series. Tweedle, the leadoff hitter, steps back in with a 1-1 count on him. Paul will work out of the stretch, check first, and deliver home, miss high over the top of Tweedle as he ducks out of the way of a breaking ball. Count's going to be 2-1 now. So 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 2-1 count on its way. It misses high and inside again. Paul's not going to have to find the strike zone. Morgan's on first base. The DH for Trojans taking his lead. Pitch to Tweedle comes just missing inside. Ball 4. A walk for the Trojans will put runners on first and second and bring up Bed. And they'll bat around. As Morgan's on deck, he got this all started with a base hit. Bedgood's 0 for 4. He struck out, flew out to second, and then grounded into ending fielder's choice. Runners on first and second. Pitch comes in. It's going to be a strike right down the middle to Bedgood as Paul's able to get ahead. Mavericks leading out in the most desperate way here as they're trailing 5-2 in the sixth. And the 0-1 pitch on its way. Line drive to left field. This is going to score another run as Austin gets over late, throws home. And they're going to have a play at the plate. Doesn't get them as the runner runs by Tyson. Didn't think it was going to be close. They threw home. Allows the runners to go to second and third on the throw home. Another run for the Trojans is going to make the score 6-2 with Morgan stepping back in for the second time this inning.
Now batting, number 10, Stevie Morgan.
Morgan will step back in. He singled earlier in the inning to right field, and he's got runners on second and third, and his team leading 6-2. Pitch comes in, a breaking ball misses high, and Paul's down 1-0. And we're going to have a timeout by Coach Hester, and they're going to bring in a new pitcher in Cole Estes. Estes hasn't pitched in a while. I'll get you his stats when we come back from Power 107 as the Mavericks trail 6-2 here in the sixth inning. Facing a tough situation with Morgan on in the box. The first bat ball he gets is going to be a long fly ball to left or center field. Roberts or Walker's going back, makes the catch over his shoulder on the first pitch. Estes comes in and gets a long fly out that Walker got a great jump on, catches it up against the wall at the 340 mark. The Mavericks get out of the inning after giving up 5 runs, though, to the Trojans. Six innings, they couldn't get out of the inning. Had no errors, had a couple of mental errors that cost them, and then the Trojans made them pay with a few base hits. Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher, will stay in for the Trojans. He's handled the Mavericks for the most part today, giving up only 2 runs on 5 hits. The Mavericks are going to have their 8, 9, and then to the top of the lineup back up as Walton will step in first. He's been hit by a pitch and grounded out.
Number 25, Ty Walton.
And at this point, the Mavericks need base runners. I'm not sure what kind of pitching's left behind Hopkins for the Trojans. They did pitch the catcher McDaniels a little bit last game as Hopkins delivers the first pitch in for a strike as Walton watched it come in. Mavericks have not been real patient against Hopkins, swinging a lot of first ball pitches. He throws a lot of breaking balls. Whereas Tuesday night they were pretty patient. An 0-1 pitch now on its way is going to be a high fly ball down the right field side. It's going to stay fair, and the right fielder's going to get over and catch it actually in foul territory, about 2 steps in foul territory as Walton skied it down the right field side. It's going to be a long out for the Mavericks and bring up Reed Roberts, the number 9 hole hitter.
Now batting, number 5, Reed Roberts.
So Reed Roberts will step in. He's 0 for 1 today. He's walked and struck out. He's batting .350 on the season. First pitch to Roberts is going to tail outside and be 1-0. Paul's on deck. Mavericks needing runs here desperately in the bottom of the 6th inning as Hopkins delivers the 1-0 and again misses outside and counts 2-0 to Roberts. Roberts needs to get on as the top of the lineup sits behind him. He's up 2-0 and Hopkins delivers the pitch. Strike right down the middle. Roberts was taken all the way. Count's now going to be 2-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mavericks trailing 6-2 of the Trojans. Hopkins delivers the 2-1. It's going to be a ball to the shortstop, picks it up, makes a throw across as he gets Roberts out at first on a 6-3 putout. Mavericks now have 2 outs, and Paul steps in on the right side of the plate.
Now batting,
So Paul struck out over the field and he delivers the going to be a ball inside, just missing, almost tailed back over. And he'll be down 1-0 to Paul. Mavericks trying not to go back to Tallulah Academy on Saturday as they trail 6-2. Paul will take a swat at the 1-0 pitch and knock it out of play down the right side of the field over the first base dugout, and he'll be even 1-1 now with 2 outs. Mavericks are down to their last 4 outs in the game as Tallulah's taking control here in the top half of this inning. Hopkins will deliver the 1-1 out of the windup. It's going to be a ground ball base hit up the middle by Paul, his first hit of the game. It'll give the Mavericks a base runner and bring up Brody Walker. Mavericks needing some runs here.
now batting, number 21, Brody Walker.
If the Mavericks could just get a couple runs and keep it close going in the 7th, a 2-run game to give them a chance would be good. Walker steps in, batting from the left side versus the left-handed Hopkins. Tyson will be on deck, the catcher for the Mavericks, as Hopkins has just hit 70 pitches. He'll look in and look over to Paul at first. Makes a move over. Paul gets back in easy. Paul's shielding his eyes from the sun as it's come out full force again, and it's brutal this time of the day on the right field side. It's hard to see anything as it glares in on the first base side. So Hopkins will again work out the stretch. Walker's waiting on the pitch. It comes. It's going to be outside as they threw a pitch out. Paul was staying still on that one. I'm not sure the Mavericks are going to take a chance on running as they were thrown out early in the game and they're down by 4 runs. Walker will get up 1-0 as Hopkins let go of the ball. The shortstop had already run to second base, expecting the Mavericks to steal there. The infield's playing really deep for the Trojans. The outfield's backs are against the wall, so Walker's going to have to get a ball in front of the outfield and over the infield's head for it to be a base hit. 1-0 pitch from Hopkins. It's low and outside, and the count's going to be 2-0. Mavericks trying to come back from a 6. Mavericks only got 2 runs in the third inning. They've left 7 on base during the game. It's cost them. They've had 5 of them in scoring position. Just hadn't been able to get a run in or a much needed hit. Tallulah, on the other hand, hadn't had these base runners, but 6 innings made them count. They've left 5 on, but only 2 in scoring position. Walker steps back in right on top of the plate with a 2-0 count in his favor and 2 outs. Paul's on first base, and Hopkins will take a look over again to first and come home. And Walker takes a big cut at it on a fastball, misses it, and be a strike. Count now will be 2-1. So a 2-1 count with 2 outs. Now Hopkins will step back on the mound. Big crowd's rooting Walker on. Pitch comes high, and the count's now 3-1. Maverick students are right behind home plate in the bleachers, and they're making lots of noise right before the pitch, trying to rattle a little bit. Down 3-1. The pitch comes. He's going to foul it straight back up the net. And the pitch he was looking for is a fastball right down the middle, and he missed it. Count will be 3-2 now with 2 outs. Still just a little bit. This ball will be off with the pitch. So Paul going to miss that. Go all the way to backstop. Paul rounded second base, thought about going wisely stop.
Now, number 10, Dean Tyson.
Versus catcher's 2 for 3 on the day. He singled his first 2 times up before flying out to left field. And he'll step in from the left side to face the left-handed pitching Hopkins. Hopkins will deliver home and miss high, and the count 1-0. Mavericks would love to get Tyson on with Brody Roberts on number 4 hole hitter. 3 on the day also. Count first. 2-0. Hopkins walking back to the mound. They'll throw the rubber. 2-0. Tyson, we'll see if he's taken here. The Mavericks are wanting base runners. Hopkins will look back to second. Called right above the belt. Tyson. stood on the first base side, 5. But it went foul, and he stayed live at 2-2. It'll be a line drive past the diving second baseman. Paul's, and he's going to be safe. Good slide, nice throw. Heads up base running by Walker. When the throw goes home, he went to third base. Paul gets his hand around the throw. Good throw by the center fielder. The ball beat Paul. Slid way up, hit the back corner of it. Needed run to make the score 6-3.
Number 13,
On the base
Brody
hit by Tyson.
Robert.
Who started the game for the Mavericks. He's 2 for 3 on the day, or 2 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and had 2 singles. A single here would be another good spot for the Mavericks as they've got a runner on third base. Would love to cut the lead to at least 2 runs before next inning. As Hopkins delivers home, he'll get a strike that hits the inside part of the plate. Left fielder's the 333 mark on the left center field wall. It's a lot of field line. Runners at Dixon for catch on his way. Left field, to catch up against the wall, running away. That ball needed about 5 more feet, and it would have been out of here in time. It was a long out in the 7th inning, trailing 6-3 in the second of a 3-game series versus Tallulah Academy when we come back from Power 107. Mavericks trail 6-3 in the number 2 game of a 3-game series versus Tallulah Academy. The Trojans send up this inning the 4, 5, and 6 hitter in Hopkins, McDaniels, and Morrison. They'll face Estes, who came in and threw 1 pitch
Now batting,
to get out the inning in the 6th for
Hayes
the
Hopkins.
Mavericks. On the season, he's thrown 26 third innings, struck out 34, giving up a few runs. He's got a 5.3 ERA, and opponents are batting .291 against him. He'll have some work to do here, needing to get some outs in the bottom of the 7th, as he'll face Hopkins, the pitcher for the Trojans. First pitch comes in, it's going to be low and inside for a ball, and Hopkins will be up 1-0. Mavericks need to get out of this inning without giving up any runs, as they were able to pick up 1 run in the bottom of the 6th before Brody Roberts flew out against the fence in left center field. Had he pulled, it would have been a home run, but instead it was a long out, and the 1-0 pitch comes in low, and the count's now 2-0, as Estes has missed low on the outside and low on the inside, both not close, and he's going to have to bear down and not put the leadoff run on, or leadoff batter on base. So a 2-0 pitch by Estes will be coming after his windup. It's going to be a ground ball to Johnson, who gets down on it, makes a throw over the first base gets it out against Hopkins. It'll be a 4-3 put out for the first out. McDaniel's doubled it, 2 runs in. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Now batting number 8, J.T. McDaniel.
He walked the first time up today and scored the first for the Trojans. And then he singled in the leading run back in the top of the 7th inning. His first pitch missing high on a breaking ball that doesn't come back over. The count's going to be 1-0. So Estes has faced 2 batters, gotten them both the fly out and ground out, and he's facing his 3rd batter of the game. And McDaniel, the catcher, down 1-0 and misses low, and the count's now 2-0. And for the 2nd straight batter, he falls behind 2-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Mavericks have a big crowd hoping for a comeback win in a state championship. If they can't do it today, they'll get another chance on Saturday, as this will be a best-of-3 series. And the 2-0 pitch on its way is going to be a ground ball base hit between shortstop and third. Burton gets down on one knee, stops it, throws it back in, but the Trojans have a runner on here in the 7th, and it's going to bring up Morrison, the center fielder.
Now batting number 5, Grayson Morrison.
So Morrison comes in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's singled and struck out by a pitch in the 6th and came around and scored. We'll see what they're going to do here, whether they'll hit. Nice pitch on the inside part of the plate. It was his split fingers that dropped down out of the zone. Over the top, and he's up 1-2. Was home. And he'll miss high with a breaking ball. Can't even. To the Tallulah coach. He picks it up, throws it back to Estes, and we'll redo the count at 2-2. Morrison way out in front of it, strikes him out. Now it's going to bring up Moberly, who had a second line last year. The Mavericks will have 2 outs as the left-handed third baseman will come up to bat.
Now batting
It'll be a breaking ball strike. It's nice and nasty. McDaniels, he'll go to second, give them a runner in scoring position. The count will move to 2-1 on Moberly. As he'll step back in with 2 outs. Mavericks will have to go across to first base for an out in the infield. And the 2-1 pitch on its way. It's going to be a little flare to shortstop. D's going to get under it easily. Make the play. A nice inning by Estes after he gave up a base hit to the second batter. Holds the Trojans scoreless in the 5 batters he's faced. The Mavericks are going to be down 6-3 when we come back from Power 107. They'll have 3 outs to tie the game and win it as we're in the second game of a best-of-3 series when we come back from Power 107. Already thrown 80.
Now, number 14.
Game against the Mavericks. As D steps in, he's over 2 on the night. He struck out his last time versus Hopkins. And Hopkins delivers the first pitch low for ball one. As Hopkins delivers again, this time he's going to hit the inside part of the plate for a strike. And counts 1-1. Works fast. He's going to get a pop fly that the center fielder's going to get under easily. And we first out of the Mavericks here at the bottom of the seventh inning. The Bees will fly out quietly to the center fielder and bring up pitch ball and side. Gave the Mavericks a little help. That one, the count's going to be 2-0. Coming, pitch coming. This one's going to be a slow 2-1. Back in the screen, the count will be 2-2. Now, they try and Hopkins back working quick now with 3-2 run, and that against Hopkins with a back to Tallulah. So they just first base. But now, the round balls by, they're not going to make a pitching change. Strategy. Walton will be up. He's got 1 home run on the season. They here. Mavericks now have to step in.
Number 5.
Run this time. In the game, they weren't able to drive and run. Scoring position, and he's got a 1-1 count with a pitch on its way. Strike 2, he's swinging up all the side, faced it. He's down 1-2 now. He's gonna have to choke up and protect the plate as Hopkins will deliver the 1-2 with 1 out. This time he's able to find low. Loaded was low. They went ahead. Nobody good. Scores a run. RB out single on a 1-2 count. The Mavericks are down by 2 now. 7-6 to 4. It's still low in the top of the lineup, and
Now
Paul coming
batting,
up.
number 17, Mills Paul.
It wasn't a pretty hit, but loops it over the baseman's head. That time he's over 4 against Hopkins. One and zero. Found himself in a little bit of trouble. 1 out. Paul's got the leading back. He won. High counts 2-0. They're going to have a coaching change here. I'm sorry, coaching change for the bases loaded. Hopkins had pitched a great game to the end. Daniels in. He pitched the end of the game against the Mavericks last time. He's here. I think Morgan's going to move from first base to catcher, but the Mavericks are going to be down by 2, 6-4 on a 2-0 count when we come back from Power 107. baseball, Mavericks out in the bottom of the seventh inning in a 6-4 game that they trail. They've got the bases loaded and they're all up with a 2-0 count. The Trojans are going to make a change as they're going to bring in McDaniels. He pitched Tuesday night 2 innings. Only gave up a hit, no runs, and struck out 3. But he comes in a tough situation. Since the 5th inning. In position this year. He will not swing, though, until he gets a strike. The Mavericks will be winning runs on first base, and Reed Roberts with grounding into a double play or flying out. So a 3-0 pitch on its way as McDaniels delivers, and it's going to go high.
Brody Walker.
Still as Trojans are having first out of the inning against Dees, who flew out to center field. They walked Burton, walked Johnson, hit Walton. Reed Roberts hit a blooper over first base to score a run, and now they've walked Paul. They're going to have a quick timeout on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher. The leading RBI hitter. Mavericks are 90 feet away from out. He's telling his catcher to line up more down the middle, but Roberts is Walker's all over the plate at this point. Has his toes on the white chalk and leaning over. 1-0 pitch with one out comes as Walker swings away. So not sure why the Mavericks weren't taking on that one on a 1-0 count. They do have a good hitter, but walk ties the run. They had a pitcher that was struggling. Now the Mavericks find themselves down 1-2 in the count. McDaniels on the ground. It feels like they see the run for an looks like 2-2. Strike 3 is down to their last out, down 6-5.
Now batting, number 10, D.
Hit here as he'll face McDaniels. Down to the last out with the bases loaded. Right. Tyson watched it go by. Count's going to be 0-1. 0-1 pitch comes in high. Is it 1 pitch? One on its way. It's high. 1. Tyson's out. It's 3-1. Tyson's got to take here with the 3-1 count, make them throw a strike. So 3-1, tying run on third base, 2 outs. McDaniels will work out of the windup, takes a deep breath, and starts his motion to deliver home. Strike 2 swinging on a ball that was going to be close to being outside, probably was going to catch a corner. So bases are loaded with a 3-2 count. The runners will be on the move. A single to the outfield will win this game for the Mavericks. Here we go. Exciting play coming up. Mavericks trail 6-5, 2 outs, 3-2 count as McDaniels works out of the stretch. Pitch comes, strikes him out on this ball 4. Strike 2 and 3 hit Mavericks. Head of game or here in the last inning, they're going to fall 6-5 and have to play in Tallulah on Saturday night at 6 p.m. The series now is tied 1-1. Mavericks out hit the Trojans 8-7, but fall 6-5 in the game. In a close game the whole way, the Mavericks on the night, though, leave 11 runners on base, 8 of them in scoring position, as the Trojans were able to sneak out of the game with 6 win. Come back and play Saturday night, they'll have to regain their composure. They'll have a chance to win the state championship again on Tuesday tonight. Give credit to Tallulah for playing a good game. Neither error in the field. The Mavericks tonight at 6 on Power 1.